Hey guys, and welcome to the morning podcast with Michael
and Alia, and today we're going to be talking about Philly.
So some of the topics that we'll be talking about are the Sixers, the Eagles, Nova, the blood drive that happened recently here at Norristown, and then later on we'll have Jensen talk about the calendar for the upcoming weeks. So to start it off, recently the Sixers made it into the second round of the playoffs, and they eliminated the Miami Heat in the first round. They added to their history-making season with 17-game winning streak to end, and they got to this point with a lot of help from their star players Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons. Embiid came back from an orbital fracture to his left eye and missed the last couple of games, but dropped 31 points in the Sixers' last game against the Boston Celtics, showing that a few days off doesn't affect him. Along with that, Ben Simmons had a successful season, averaging 18 points, 7 rebounds, and 6 assists. The atmosphere in Philadelphia has been crazy, but the fan base and championship won after the Eagles. The team face Boston in Game 3 tomorrow at 5 p.m. So, Alia, adding to that, have you watched any of their games?
I have watched some games. My parents usually watch most of the games, but in my house we're a whole bunch of Philly fans, so the screaming and the cheering, and it's just really great, like watching the Sixers do really good. And even if they're like not doing the best at certain times, it's still nice to see like how supportive like Philadelphia is of their fans and how great the rookies are doing. It's just like really good to watch. How about you, Michael?
Yeah, I watched last night and I was kind of heartbroken. I can tell you that when you have a 22-point lead and it diminishes in the matter of 4 minutes, it's kind of heartbreaking. And then Ben Simmons only scoring 1 point doesn't help, but all in all, I watch every game. I've been saying since the beginning of the season that this is probably like the farthest and the best we'll do in a long time. But I'm looking forward to next year, obviously, because the talent that they have is obviously showing. But do you have a favorite player?
I'd have to say Joel Embiid. I really would. How about you?
I'm probably gonna say T.J. McConnell. He always comes into the game and fires everybody up. He's a little guy, so I kind of take that as motivation for me because I was always the smallest kid, but his work ethic on and off the court is something to watch for. So.
Right.
How about, did you watch Meek at the game?
I did. Right when he got out, he flew over to the game. All of Philly went crazy. The whole nation went crazy that he got out and, supported his team. And I just thought it was really great. I mean, it was kind of confusing how fast he got there, but, the helicopters made it work, and I thought it was great, and I was just really happy for him. How about you, Michael?
Oh, of course. When I heard the news, it was 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and I was just praying because ever since the beginning of the playoffs, I was like, I hope he rings the bell. Mm-hmm. And when it came to, the elimination game, and I was just like, he's getting out, he's going to be there, and I was just praying he rang the bell, and when he rang the bell, that arena went crazy. So,
yeah, definitely.
So I don't know. I keep watching, so we're gonna see how they do. Continuing with the winning topic, the Eagles also had an amazing season, and so they won the Super Bowl. So, Alia, do you want to talk more about that?
Yeah, of course. So in February, the Philadelphia Eagles won their first Super Bowl, beating the New England Patriots 41-33, and it was a great day for Eagles fans everywhere. Nick Foles, the Super Bowl MVP, recently reconstructed his contract with the team. He now will get more money and is guaranteed to not be traded this season. Thursday night was the first round of the NFL draft, and the Eagles had the last pick. They traded their pick to the Baltimore Ravens for 3 additional draft picks. The Ravens selected quarterback Lamar Jackson out of the Louisville in the spot. On Friday, the Eagles made their first pick of the draft, selecting tight end Dallas Goedert out of South Dakota State, number 49. They had 2 picks in the 4th round, selecting Avonte Maddox, a corner out of Pittsburgh, and Josh Sweat, a defensive end out of Florida State. In the 6th, they selected an offensive tackle out of TCU, Matt Pryor. Then in a surprising turn, the Eagles used their last pick on Jordan Mailata, an Australian rugby player. Even though he hasn't played a football a day in his life, he's 6'8" and 346 pounds, so it doesn't really matter. The Eagles have a strong draft class this year, and we can't wait to see how they deliver this season. But hopefully Carson Wentz will be ready to play in time, but if not, Foles will be there regardless. So, Michael, when the Eagles won their first Super Bowl, what was your first reaction?
I cried. I'll tell you that, I cried. I was with my family at my uncle's house, and and I dropped down in tears. Just to see like all the hard work, like watching every game, seeing the work they put in, and just seeing it all come together. And especially for the city of Philadelphia, where the fans, I think we have the best fan base in the entire country. So to see that all come together, I broke down in tears.
Yeah.
How about you?
I was with my best friend and her family, and we were on the couch, and I was like, wow, we need to win this. Like, we're going to do it. And we didn't even notice that the clock ran out. So when you saw it hit 00, I was shaking her. I was yelling. We were all screaming. The house went crazy. And it was just so great to finally see that we beat the best and, like, we're world champs. So it just felt amazing. So about the draft picks, like, do you have any opinions on who we picked, and do you think it was good? Do you think it was bad? How are you feeling?
Well, at first I was kind of disappointed because I stayed up that Thursday night, and I'm waiting for the 32nd pick to come around. And when we get there, the commissioner comes out. The pick was traded, and I was like, I just got so mad. I was just like, I stayed up all this time just to go to sleep with no information. So, but the first pick, they needed a tight end. I like the selection. But the one that I'm most happy for is the 6'8", 346-pound Australian rugby player. Let me tell you, you see some tape on this man, he can bulldoze some people over. He's not human, I'll tell you that. But yeah, so it was kind of the disappointment to me. But in the end, I think they didn't need much, and they went out and addressed some needs, and we'll see how it goes next year.
Yeah,
but
definitely.
Do you see any names that ring a bell for you?
The Dallas Goddard, me and my family were just going crazy about that because, the draft was in Texas, and it was just great to see that we got Dallas, and the Cowboys were really sick about it. So it was just funny seeing that. But yeah, I'm excited for next year because I hope we'll do good again, and it's going to be a great season. So what about your final thoughts on your outlook for next year?
Oh, I'm totally excited. The thing about Philly is that they're going to bring it every game, no matter what the situation is, just like Nick Foles stepped up and Carson Wentz's spot. So I'm ready. I'm fired up. So just got to wait till this offseason's over. So talking about college kids, because they obviously took the show for the Eagles. Next, we're going to talk about the Villanova Wildcats on their championship win in the NCAA men's basketball game. So, I'm going to talk about that. And 2 years ago, in 2016, the Villanova Wildcats beat North Carolina 77-74. It was referred to as the perfect ending because it was the only NCAA men's championship game to be won on a buzzer beater, as the final shot was made the same time the shot expired. This year, they beat the Michigan Wolverines 79-62. Sophomore Dante DiVincenzo, nicknamed the Big Ragu, scored 31 points in the winning game, the first to do it in a championship since 1989. He was named the 2018 Final Four's most outstanding player. Villanova won 90% of their games this season, finishing with a record of 36-4. The team was led by Coach Jay Wright, who has led the team since 2001. He has won National Coach of the Year in 2006 and 2016. Each of their tournament games has been won by double digits. They were second in the Big East in the regular season, ultimately winning the Big East tournament. They've been in the Final Four 6 times in 1939, 1971, 1985, 2016, and 2018. And they were also in the Elite Eight 14 times. So, Alia, did you watch the Villanova game?
I'm going to be honest with you. I really didn't, because basketball, college basketball, it's not my sport, but I had faith in Villanova because, I'm a Philly fan, so they're right there. I was hoping that they would win. So when they were, in the final two, I was like, all right, Philly, we got this. And then when they won, I was excited, but it wasn't anything like the Eagles or anything like that. But I was excited for Villanova in their school. How about you, Michael?
I was definitely excited. I did stay up for this game, too. But I know Jay Wright on a personal level. Me and my dad have had multiple conversations with him. And the class this guy shows and the respect he has for everybody is outstanding. So to see a man, he's probably the most deserving man to win a championship. But talking about that, so you don't like basketball, right?
Not my favorite, but yeah.
What would you say is your favorite moment in sports? This ended with a buzzer beater, but what would you classify as your favorite moment in a sports game?
in a sports game, like when the home team wins and the crowd is just ecstatic, that's like my favorite part. Like watching people's reactions to good games like that, or buzzer beaters, or like beating a team by 1 point, like having an amazing play or shot or anything. I think that's my favorite part. Definitely watching reactions. How about you?
I totally agree. Just to watch the sweat drip off their face as they like make the final play, and they just put all their effort into that final thing, and it come to tuition. It's just it's the best feeling. I was at the 2008 World Series game, so I know how it feels to see a championship and the crowd go crazy.
Yeah, definitely.
So next we're gonna bring in Mr. Morris. Recently we've had a blood drive here at the Norristown Area High School. That was actually on Tuesday, May 1st, and so we're gonna have Mr. Morris come in and talk a little bit more about how it went and what it's for. So initially, about 150 students signed up. About 80 of them were able to donate due to health screenings before the extraction of the blood. These students stayed for about 1 to 2 hours to re-energize before going back to class. They received a snack and drink while they laid down to rest. So, Mr. Morris, what is your final opinion on how this blood drive went?
Well, you're not going to ask me any sports questions. Like the subject you just talked about is right up my alley, so I don't get to answer any sports questions.
Well, if we have time at the end, we'll get right to that. But we're going to talk about the blood drive first.
Okay, blood drive was this is the third time we've done it here at the high school in the gym. This is easily the most successful one that we have when it comes to the total number of donations that we got. We got a total number of 67 usable donations. 14 of those donations, they do something called a double red cell extraction, which basically means it's twice as useful, for doctors and hospitals and whatnot. So the goal that the Red Cross had set for us was 54. So we smashed that. So I would say it was a tremendous success.
Going on the lines of that, a lot of kids get scared when it comes to donating blood. What is your advice to them if they're unsure of if they should donate blood or not?
Well, people say, I don't like needles. I don't like needles. Well, nobody likes needles. You're not supposed to like needles. But I try to comfort the kids to say, the anticipation is probably the worst part of everything. When it comes to the actual pain itself, it's a pinch and a burn, and that's it. At least that's been for me. I have, one of the things that's important is your veins. If you have good veins, it's easy for the nurse to find the spot. Unfortunately, I was down there a couple times when, some kids that have little, angel hair pasta veins, it's difficult for the nurse to find, and they may have to wiggle around a little bit. But even that said, I was impressed by the courage of some of the kids who really went in, concerned and scared, but knew that they were doing a good deed. And you never know when somebody or yourself is going to need blood, and there's always going to be a shortage. So it's like a resource that we can never have enough of.
Okay, going along that line, where does this blood go to after it's extracted from one of the students?
Yeah, it goes to local hospitals. I think the most common areas in which it's going to be used, maybe pregnant mothers who've lost a lot of blood due to giving birth. Patients in chemotherapy who rely on pints of blood throughout the week as part of their treatment, trauma units, people who've been in accidents, surgeries, and things like that. Like I said, and it is always a desperate need, so it's something we can't get enough of.
Okay, and then on the other hand, we have Teachers One. Can you tell us a little about when that's happening and a little just inform the teachers?
Sure, yeah, we do 2 Teachers One every year. We do one in the fall. The one coming up is going to be May 14th. This one is here in the cafeteria after school. And again, the ones that I spearhead here, the goal is just to get as many possible donations as possible. I don't care, teachers, whoever else, friends of teachers. I've even had students donate at the teacher drive before because, like I said, the bottom line is just to get as many donations as possible. So that one will be in the cafeteria from 2:45 to 7:45. Won't be as nearly as hectic as the student one was because, that one, drew in and you saw close to 100 people coming down here. This one will be a little more low-key. But still, we're looking to maybe collect 25 to 30 donations during that time period.
All right. Thank you. So, since you want a sports question, we'll give it to you.
Okay.
What is your personal opinion on the Sixers?
I am I was very much an optimist recently with the winning when the Eagles won the Super Bowl. Villanova wins the national championship. You start to think that the aura in this city is going to change. And I want you to understand that I'm 42 years old, and if you went through and saw the number of championships that I should have experienced, it should be probably somewhere between 12 to 15. Okay. During my lifetime, I've been able to celebrate 2 championships. So basically what that means is you could take a globe, spin the globe, put your finger on it somewhere, and that odds are that place probably had more success than the city of Philadelphia. So my belief was it's a matter of time before things start going our way. Now I'm a little concerned that the Sixers are down 2-0. I'm a mathematics guy. I believe in trends and numbers. Teams that go down 2-0 lose 27 of 29 on average. So I don't know what that percentage is, but I can tell you it's not very good.
All right, well, hopefully they can pick it up and get back in. But I want to thank you for coming down today and sharing information about the blood drive. So next we're going to have Jensen join in and talk about the upcoming schedule here at the Norristown High.
Thanks, Mike. So everyone should know that AP exams are coming up, starting May 7th and running to May 18th. First exams on Monday morning, AP Chem, and then afternoon, AP Psych. Tuesday, May 8th, would be Art History in the afternoon. Wednesday would be AP Lit in the morning. Thursday, AP Gov in the morning, and AP Environmental Science in the afternoon. And Friday in the morning would be AP United States History. And then the second week, Monday morning would be AP Bio. Tuesday morning, AP Calc A, B, and BC. Wednesday morning would be AP Lang in the morning. Thursday in the afternoon would be AP Stat. And Friday morning would be AP Human Geography. Oh yeah, so this year is different than the rest because the second week of AP exams overlaps with the first week of Keystones. So anyone who doesn't have to take Keystones will get a 3-hour delay unless you're taking an AP exam in the second week in the morning. So for me, I'm taking 2 in the morning, so I lose 2 of those days sadly.
Okay, thank you, Jensen. Alia, are you taking any AP exams?
I'm not taking any AP exams, and I'm not taking any Keystones, so I'm going to have a great 6 days of 3 hours resting in my bed or going to IHOP, because who knows what I'm going to do those 6 days.
I'm going out to breakfast, I can tell you that. IHOP sounds like the moves before school.
Gotta get my short stack on.
All right, well, that will be the end of this episode of the Morning Podcast with Michael
And Alia.
And just because we're gifted
doesn't mean we're smart.